So welcome back, guys. It's now the Thursday and stuff starts really ramping up here. That day, the Thursday, was D-Day. They needed to go to the upper room for the Passover feast. And Jesus had set that up so they could do so by arranging for a room to be available for them all. Now, as was the tradition with the Jewish people, before they sat down for a meal or anything like that, or going into someone's house or a room, they had to wash their feet. And this would ordinarily be done by the servants on the masters of the house. But this time, Jesus beautifully spun it the other way. He had the disciples sit down and he said, "I will wash your feet." They were shocked. They could not believe that their master would lower himself to wash their feet. But he did. He did, as I'm going to do with him now. He literally sat them all down and went through the process of symbolically washing their feet. Now, this is a big deal because back in the day, people had to have their feet washed because they wore sandals or would walk through the streets, mud and dust, and it would be on their feet. And much like we are at the moment with the situation, the viruses and that are going around, the corona, etc., we have to wash our hands. We don't have to worry so much about that now, obviously, because we have shoes and socks. But then it was a big deal because you had the mud and the rubbish of the paths and whatever on their feet. So he symbolically washed their feet to cleanse them before they sat down to eat. And obviously they would have washed their hands as well. As I said, this was massive. The disciples would never have seen anything like this before in their lives. A huge statement from Jesus about how to live, how to live your life as a follower of Jesus, to serve others, not expect to be served by others, but to actually serve others. From there, they went down from there to the upper room, and they arrived at the upper room. And as they got to the upper room, there was a table set for them with fruits, with wine, with bread. And it's at this moment that Jesus, before he shared with them these amazing words about, do this in remembrance of me. And he announced to them the stuff that the words that we use in communion now, even to now, throughout churches throughout the world. And he said, in remembrance of me, take this bread and break it as a sign of my body broken for you. And then he said, take this wine as a sign of my blood spilt for you. All the disciples went through this process, still not really understanding the significance of what was going on. And he then went on to share throughout the night stuff that was going to happen about the end of his life coming, and still the disciples weren't getting it. He told them that he would be betrayed by them, he would be denied by them, and they just wouldn't accept it. They wouldn't deal with it. Judas Iscariot and many other disciples said, "What, me? What, me?" And Jesus actually says to Judas Iscariot, "Yeah, you go and do what you have to do." And it was at that point that Judas Iscariot left to go and find the Pharisees and the Romans and the religious leaders to tell them what was going to happen. From there, Jesus left. He needed some time out. You know, like sometimes we're under pressure and things are starting to happen in our lives. And he made his way to the Garden of Gethsemane with the disciples. And he said to them, "Keep watch over me. Look out for me. I ask this of you, just watch over me. And David would go on to explain what happened in the Garden of Gethsemane and then into Friday, what we now call Good Friday.